Let's take a closer look at the pelvis, and in particular the pelvic floor. So the pelvic floor is at the base of your pelvis, and the pelvis is made up of 3 bones. At the base of the pelvis you can see 2 sit bones, your tailbone or your sacrum, which is the base of your spine, and your pubic bone right at the front of the pelvis. And your pelvic floor sits here, and it offers support and stability for the pelvis. There's different layers of muscle within the pelvic floor, and in the most superficial one are the sphincters, which are they control the outlets, so the urethral, the vaginal and the anal sphincter. So they control our sphincters. The pelvic floor is there to offer us support, so it supports our internal organs, which within a female pelvis, at the front you'd have your bladder, then your uterus, and at the back the rectum. In a male, very similar, but instead of obviously the uterus, they would have their prostate in there. So its functions, really important to understand, as a support role, as a stabilizer for the bones of the pelvis. It also helps to manage the pressure, intra-abdominal pressure in the body. So when our lungs fill up, okay, we need more space in the body, otherwise the pressure builds, and that's when we're more vulnerable to things like herniations, prolapses. But we want, when we inhale, for the pelvic floor to be able to descend. It lengthens and lowers, and then on the exhalation the pelvic floor lifts and integrates. So, and working with the diaphragm to help push the air out of the lungs. So it has it's lots of different functions, the pelvic floor. And what we're going to look at next is how we start to train the pelvic floor to get it back to be able to carry out all of those very important functions within the body.